Hey guys, all right. I just wanted you to understand the scope, so let me go ahead and just sort of finish that and then I can close out. So yeah, setting up cPanel accounts, instead of it taking like 4 hours with somebody else, it takes us like 42 seconds. Being able to install all the templates, upload them, and then install what we need to change everything around. Installing the templates alone is like 15 seconds each, so it's like 25 minutes for 100, and another 20 minutes allows us to install the other files that change the templates out, change the colors and the font scheme and the layout of the pages, make them unique templates, right? We have thousands and thousands of variations of every template. And then we go through and we have things like bulk create email. Remember how I told you it took some time to create the email? We have our download sample files for, filling out the Excel file, but we can decide what all the email addresses should be on all the websites, then paste that here and it'll generate those emails. And then we have bulk email forwarder. Same thing now. We can say for all those emails that we created, forward them to here. So for 100 websites, all those emails could forward to one email account. Or two, we can get all of them to forward to him and to us as admin and to somebody else if it makes sense, like whoever's working the front counter or whoever's in charge of accounting. We can create more than one email address per site. So if there's the tech over here and sales over there and customer support over there, and then the owner, then there could be 4 emails that we create onto every one of those websites automatically. That'd be 400 emails that we're going to create. And then we could have each of the 100 go to the owner, salesperson, tech, support, right? So we can do that so easily. And nobody does this stuff automatically across tons of websites, but we built the tools to make it possible. So the value to you is that when you're coming through us for the work, you're paying a small fraction of the price you would have to pay them, because there's no elbow grease. We got rid of all the elbow grease. Everything that other people do manually that could be automated, we've automated. So what we've left that you're paying for is the power and the strategy that comes off of the website. You're mainly paying for the strategy, just the man hours, the time, the thought process, the effort, the monitoring, the setup. More than ever in 2023, we're able to actually review and watch and observe and monitor projects that we do for clients. We could never do that before. It was all about generation, and then you give us feedback, we remote control. What's different now is that we've automated all of the stuff we need to put up the website, so we can download the statistics reports from the websites, look through them, figure out what's performing better than what, and we can go look into why on the recordings, and we can do all of the stuff very, very efficiently now. So we can take 100 websites for you and rapidly go through all the stats, figure out what's doing better than what, and make adjustments to improve that, or, believe it or not, let the websites make 90% of those adjustments on their own, because they can now. They are programmed to make logical decisions to improve how people interact with the pages, to increase how long people stay on the pages and or click more things, which allows the pages to come into alignment with Google heat maps for where the activity should be on the video, on the payment area, on the forms, on the contact box, wherever it is that people should be spending their attention, that gets the heat. And then Google heat maps, when Google sees how people interact on the page, it goes, wow, people are doing the right thing on these pages. So then Google starts to rank the pages higher. So your websites do that calculation for you on a page-by-page basis. And those of you who have PPC campaigns, whether you're putting 1,000 keywords into one page, we can make your landing page for you and make it also self-adjust to improve the reaction people have when they land on your page. This gets your heat maps to improve also. It means that the quality score goes up, so your cost per click goes down, so you outcompete your competitors. Okay, we do this set up with you. It's easy because we already built this functionality in. And then aside from that, what we built in was the actual video monitoring. Anytime somebody lands on one of your pages, no matter what they do, no matter how long they're there, when they leave, give it about a minute and you can review everything they did, and you can speed it up, and you can cut out any inactive sections of it, so that you can rapidly go through different people's journeys and see why they did or didn't buy, why they did or didn't sign up. See if they even scrolled down, or if it looks like click fraud. You know what click fraud looks like? Someone lands on your page, jerks the page about an inch, and then leaves. Wouldn't you like to know if that's happening? Wouldn't you like to be able to see that happen? With our system, you can. You can actually see that happen. So you know when guys are cheating. And it's possible to track who they are and give them a call and tell them to cut it out. It's possible to scare them off. We've done that with people. We've seen that happen. Some people hang up fast when somebody calls them and they realize that was after the visit to the website. Stuff like that is good when it does happen. And what's even better than that simply is just being able to make your websites work better. Click fraud aside, everyone's got click fraud. So if you haven't, they haven't, it's apples to apples. What do you still want? You want your websites to outperform their websites. You want your landing pages to encourage more than theirs. You want Google to be more impressed with you than your competitors. And everything that we have is dialed in to make that possible. Okay, having said all that, where do we take things from there? We built remote control tools for everything. We started with the idea of simple SQL queries, okay? It was kind of the first tool ever that we made that was remote control. We said, man, we put all those domains up and we need to fix something. Maybe the phone number was wrong. So we're saying, okay, put in the list of those domains up here and put in the query here that says, in this database table, in this column where the phone number used to be this, change it to that. It's a simple query, okay? So queries are the kind of thing you can look up. These days are the kind of thing that you can build immediately in GPT, but this is all in-house, right? So our guys just know how to do this, and they'll run the queries. And so within seconds, 100 websites got repaired. The phone numbers are right now. We did everything. We've got every kind of execution to force databases to adapt to new standards like MariaDB, whatever the new standard is. We can download data. We can set websites to index or no index right now, depending on whether they should be showing up in front of Google or not yet, because we're still working on them and we don't want Google to see them. We can mass integrate coding for the visitor tracking stuff we like to do immediately. And so we can tell you, go get this account, tell us the ID. Then when you tell us, we can run it on your 100 websites, and you can immediately log into one place where you can start to watch the videos of everyone on your websites and see how they're reacting to your websites. We can look up which servers all the websites are on so that we can download the list, so we can automatically separate the files out to have the installers work on their batches in parallel. AI records. We are tracking who uses the most, who uses the APIs the most, because we have to charge for going over a certain amount. And then when we charge, it's not much, but it has to happen because there is a cost. So you'll see this thing go red, and it'll tell you to pay like $2 for another 1,000 credits, and that'll cover you for quite a while, for jobs you're doing. So anyway, all the stuff we build in, that's my point. By getting the records, we know who's using which domains the most, right? So that we can do different things to help out there. Enable, disable sections. If we put up 100 websites and they have a section called Our Team and the Our Team does not apply, we just simply upload the file and which sections we want turned off, like the Our Team section. And all of a sudden they all get turned off. So they no longer look funny on the website. We can do that automatically. Splitting Excel is saying if I've got the one big file and I want to split it to have a bunch of installers run in parallel, that's splitting Excel. So all these things run off of simple files that we already created. API credits, we can grant API credits to websites. So it just depends on what's going on. Someone can bulk buy. They can either buy through one website, but if they got 100 websites, they're like, Dave, do I have to make 100 purchases? The answer is no. Just make the one purchase through us, and we'll give the credit through your 100 websites, right? TOS settings, theme option settings really means the main page of the website, all those little things running through the page. There's like a generic email sometimes in the top corner. Sometimes it says lorem ipsum next to the business hours. You go through the page and there are little sections where it's saying lorem ipsum stuff and has kind of fake information because it doesn't know what should be there. Okay? TOS settings right here. We run a file up there and we can fix 100 domains TOS settings in a couple of minutes. Okay, fix the menu. We found that often when we generate the menu names that goes into the menus of all those websites, that sometimes the menu names come out a little weird. It's just the way GPT interprets what the short version should be. And so we can fix that with the press of a button here. We can actually download a file, put in what we want, re-upload, and it can go through 100 websites, and it can go through 1,000. I keep saying 100 because I'm talking about one job at a time that we would focus on. The tools themselves can do a lot more. And so we can upload again, and when we do, it literally goes through every menu of every single website and replaces the wording. Wherever the wording was funny, now it's not. How's that for nuts? Fix tokens. Sometimes when GPT writes and it produces the values back to us, it takes the tokens and breaks some of the characters. Well, we see that. We can fix them all. So we created a stack of rules to fix tokens. Fix TOS links, main page of the site. You know how you get all the sections going down the page and then they got links to read more, but if you click them, they don't go anywhere? Right? Because so far no one created any pages yet in the website. Or maybe they just created them. But now these links need to point at those pages. Someone's got to make that work. You know how hard that is when you've got like 100 websites and they all have unique pages and you're going through all those read more links and you're trying to actually highlight each of them and make sure to paste it to the right page and make it work? Well, we built that into our system. It does that automatically. So it creates all of that linkage. If it's like 25 links times 100 websites, is 2,500 of those, it can get that done in like, I think it's 18 seconds. Absolutely nuts. Upload global variables. Here's where we finally say, and this is like all you guys are waiting for this right now because we had to do all the rest of the stuff before we finally got to this point. Now we pick and choose companies. The company name, the provider name, the phone number that goes with them, maybe an email that goes with them, or we use our system emails to catch this stuff so that we can forward leads. And we put the city, state, zip, maybe address and everything, you know, for all the different guys that we want to point people at to get people to call them so that we can start to show them we got people to call them so that we can start charging them per leads. And they're going to be really excited about that. So we've got to grab like 100 companies for 100 websites to upload their information to so that we can start driving calls at 100 different companies. So we can start getting some of those to hit so we can start calling them and saying, hey, we're the ones sending you those leads. Mind paying $50 a lead. Or we go through a lead network and we use something called masking where we actually override the number with the lead network number on all those 100 websites. So even if we had all the matching business name, address, phone combinations on all the websites, which is a good idea for citation purposes, it will rank the pages faster. When the page loads for a human, it can change the phone number out. It could change the company name out. It can change the address out, the city, state, and zip out, even on the Google Maps. What's that mean? That means we're not locked into anything. If we need to go somewhere else, switch to a different provider, or if the website's great but the guy doesn't want the leads, he's already got too many leads, but that guy needs leads, we can just mask the data right away to point at the new guy, and we're not throwing off the way Google sees it when it comes to the authority it's already earned. It still earns the same authority, but it points out the new provider. Really amazing stuff. Submit sitemaps. Submitting sitemaps allows what? Submitting sitemaps allows us to just sit here right now and say, I'll paste in 100 domain names or 1,000 and go. And I just submitted those 100 or 1,000 sitemaps to Google just like that so that Google knows what's going on. Okay? upload industries, generate subdomains, replace variables, upload JSON. Oh, generate articles. This is literally where we upload these files we created in the earlier concept for the subtitle breakdown for all the pages and the URLs. This is where we get that very file. So I would take that file right here, okay, and hit save, and it will literally start writing those pages onto all those websites that I had in that list. It will create all the pages, put them in the menu, get them ready. Then I'm going to go do the toss links after that, right? Right here, fix toss links, so that it can look up those pages that exist, the inner pages, and then start connecting the read more buttons through those pages in a logical way. Okay? We can auto-generate blogs. And when we generate blogs, we just put in what the topics should be for those 100 sites, and it generates them totally uniquely every time. And not just that, it adds a random number of comments from 0 to 4 for every blog. That way they look very, very natural. Import pages content. Yeah. It's a branch off of generating articles. Autofill TOS. That is exactly taking all the sections on the front page and changing all those main lorem ipsums to what your project is all about. Okay? Based on the backstory. Autofilling TOS is autofilling the front page of the website based on your backstory. Okay? Everything, looking up which theme is on which domain, fixing any kind of content issues, fixing meta. We found that meta, sometimes when GPT would write meta descriptions, it would include double quotes. You can't have double quotes in the meta field. Get rid of them. Change them with single quotes. So we build a fixed meta that automatically we just put in the domains and hit go, and it goes through every page on every website and fixes the meta descriptions. How's that for nuts? We've got this for everything. Reset the content. If we put up a project and the client goes, no, it's the wrong idea, take that down. You know, we don't do commercial, or we don't do residential, or whatever it is. We can reset the content and just drop everything that went up on all those sites so that now we can create it again. We could even clear the articles without resetting the content. That is, maybe the guy wants to log in and he sees his list of articles we're working on now for approval to be assigned to the pages. But he already approved the pages that came earlier. Great. So the pages were approved, so get rid of those articles. And that way, when we generate new articles for him to approve, he's not confused which ones he already approved. Okay? So there's that. Import feed files. This has everything to do with changing the styling and the settings and preparing the themes for mass image imports so that all the images show up right. Settings of every kind. Toss, backup domains. We back everything up. var sheets, generate sitemaps, update sitemaps, subdomains. I mean, all of these tools, you see, we have gone through these forever. Empty logs and zip files. Like sometimes on your WHM, you're starting to lose tons of space, and you're losing it for what reason? Because every one of those cPanels, now that we've been uploading stuff, have a bunch of zip files in them. They have a bunch of air logs maybe. And those can take up like megabytes times all your domains. So we just say, put in the domains and go, and it will delete all the zip files in the top layers. You know, any zip files that people really need to keep are going to be in their specific folders. But the top 2 folder level depths, no. So we'll just delete the zips and delete the logs right like that. It takes a couple of minutes to regain several gig of space on each server. Okay? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We've got everything here, man. Empty temp and etc. That's like when you get the just really, really elementary visitor logs that just fill up on a website. We dump those out, regain gigs of space. Empty JSON files, remove files. I mean, all this stuff is here. Change the logo path. We found that was important sometimes, depending on the theme. So there, upload server images, you know, to put images on all the websites. File uploader, theme uploader, File Uploader allows us to do the 3.0 version of certain files and then the 3.1, 3.2 of those files to fix them all. One of them that you're going to want is chat.php. Chat is going to be updated for everybody from the old chat function that used to be here, which was like chat 3.0, to the new chat 4.0, GPT 4.0, right? And so that's going into all your websites. Okay. And then that way you can just use it like a buddy. Anytime you got a question in your website, you can ask it and it'll tell you. You ask it if you need help with anything, a meta description or something to do SEO on the page. You know another one that's not even in the list yet because we just got it done and we haven't added it to the list? Interlinking. Interlinking is where, let's say this. Okay, maybe this is the easiest way to understand it. You've got wording on the pages themselves. Now let's say one of your menu links, literally the page name and the menu link is car accident. Okay. Well, when we're reading and we get to car accident, shouldn't it be hyperlinked to point at the car accident page? Yeah, that's an SEO thing. Okay. And what about another link maybe? Local accident attorneys. Maybe that is a page menu name. Well, then we should link to it. Okay. So what's the point? We have one page, which if somebody were to scan through, they could create hyperlinks to the menu links. And then what about the rest of the pages? Go through and do those too. I am old enough in this game that I used to have to do that manually, like everyone else. One link at a time, manually, page after page, reading and glancing at the menu and trying to see where the word matches are, or looking at the menu name, hitting Control Find, and trying to find the verbiage of each menu name, on each page. And then hyperlinking in each case and trying not to misspell anything. Or I'll create a broken link, right? That I would notice later when I'm watching the videos of people go through the website and hit the 404 link and then just leave. So then I'd have to fix it, right? I mean, we have it all under control. But yeah, that's just what I want to say is we have that tool now, Interlink. You know what it looks like? It says put in your list of domains. You just put in the list of domains. Matter of fact, I think it's right here, unless it hasn't been spread. Oh, it has. Yeah. So just put in our list of domains and hit submit. And it literally goes through all the pages of all the domains and creates those hyperlinks. That way, Google's way more impressed with the way traffic can move properly through the web pages and click to continue reading about a topic if they want to. Okay? And we'll do more with interlinking as we go. Right now, it's just an exact page name match, but we can do more things with it. Anyway, just letting you know, yeah, we're that deep in the game. All this is just remote control stuff, right? That's what's so crazy. Anyway, yeah, hope you're finding this interesting and understanding what's going on. So what do I want to say? There are different projects that you can get into. There's Decrypt My Leads has something called Claim This Position. Some of you guys know what it is, where you get to choose an industry, okay? And we did create the ability for you to add one of your own. So if you don't see it in the list, right? If it's in the list, it's in the list. Start typing. Roof, you'll see it in the list. Dentist. Oh, there's accident attorneys. Dent, but not dental, right? Nothing for dental. Say you wanted to create a project for something in particular, you can add it. You can say dental, okay? And then you can choose the size of the county you want to go after. If it's your dental practice or your chiropractor practice, and again, you're like in New Jersey, okay? Do a search up here and that just brings it up and you can choose your area, right? Then depending on the size of the population, it's going to tell you what it's going to cost to run that project out. Right? Basically what this translates to is about $250 a website. Okay, so something like this, like 5 websites in that area that are going to be used to pitch you. There'll be like affiliate websites saying you're the man. You're the company to see. You're the ones to talk to. and they're going to be in the area doing that. So they're all going to compete for attention. So a lot of the people that are doing searches who would have wound up on other websites wind up on yours. And yours are saying, click here to go to the right guy, right? And that is good. That's a great way to market yourself in the organic sections of websites for free. Okay. And so if you're doing it for you, you're doing it for you. If you're doing, but the biggest thing is usually this claim disposition section is reserved for investors. This is where you're paying money for us to build these projects in those areas. And then we split the profits with you. Okay. And the reason that the prices are different is based on population. The higher the population, the more competitive the project, right? But guess what? We now have all the tools to monitor. We get to create great content, then watch how people interact with it. We get to see how people interact so we can make changes at a manual level. But the websites are also watching how people interact and making natural, logical decisions to increase the ROI on the websites. All that stuff is now easy for us to make happen on lots of websites. That's why I've been showing you all these tools, so you understand that. Okay? So this is if you want to be an investor and you want to come into projects with us. All right? If you want to just get your own project for your own purposes, go to website-installer.com and you've got a couple of choices. There's new releases, okay? These are the new release templates. We took down all the old ones from Choose Your Category because they were confusing and people always wondered if they're updated, and they'd be hard to update. But we said, you know what? Almost everyone these days is going for the new releases because they're the hottest and they're the best. So choose from here. Okay, just so you know, probably the most commonly chosen one I've seen yet is this insert template. Okay, it can be for any industry. Any of these can be for any industry. Don't let what you see dissuade you at all. We can make any of this work for any industry. It's just a matter of change the images, change the content, maybe change the colors, and we already have control over all of that. Now, beyond that, a couple of things. Professional services right here ranges from inexpensive to expensive, but not on a per website basis. For instance, one website, $295. We got 1, 3, and 10. And then we got more. Okay, 25, 50, and 100. By the time you get to 100, you're talking $16,000. But you know what that means? $160 per website. So you're getting the net effect of ordering at a large level so that we can put all the work on the conveyor belt all at once so that there's a benefit there. Okay? And that goes through for a year. And after that, it's just hosting and retainer re-ops and server tech re-op, which isn't hardly anything compared to that. It's a per website basis, but it's not expensive. Having said that, yeah, if you come in with something like this or something like this, what are we doing? Your work for you. Okay, you just tell us what your email is so that we can contact you. What it is that you're trying to accomplish, the product or service or affiliate URL or website that you need to be marketed. What's the goal? Okay, and then down here, add notes like a backstory. I mean, if you want to give us a backstory, go for it. If you want to give us what we need to ask GPT for a backstory, go for it. Also, add your Moment CRM team ID. For those of you who don't know, this is crucial. We almost built the system and then discovered it already exists. So we just incorporate it. Okay? So right here, go here, sign up, and it's going to ask you to create a team ID, I think it's called, a vanity ID, team ID, something like that. Very simple ID. So just create it. Very simple ID, like 4 or 5 letters, numbers. And then put it in here, right? Just say MCRM ID or something, you know, anything like that so we know what it is. It could be like ABCD, except don't make it that. Make it whatever, some unique thing for you. It'll have to be unique. The system will make sure of it. Anyway, explain it, right? What you got, put in your Moment CRM ID and hit pay. Moment CRM's free for as long as you want to use the free version. When you finally upgrade, it's because you already have projects, or I'm sorry, you already have so many people coming in that it's going to be worth it to you to upgrade just to see more traffic if you want to do that. You don't need to. Usually, we don't do a lot of monitoring. We do upfront monitoring whenever we put websites up, okay? And then that way, we make sure that everyone's having a good experience. No one's hitting 404. No one's looking for something that's not there. Once we feel like the customer journey is smooth, then we turn it over to the websites. Let the websites do the work from there. Okay? No need for us to stay involved at that point. So the only reason you really need Moment CRM is upfront checks on new releases, just to see how people act in the beginning and make sure that they're taking the content in the right way so that we know that we're not forgetting something that they need to see, okay? Or that they're hitting a 404 error link that we didn't know was there. That could be really important. All right, so anyway, you can get access to your websites after you want them. There's training videos. You can click here and you can train yourself how to use the websites. You can get as far into it as you want, okay? Or you can just let us do it, okay? Because it's easier for us to remote control most of the time if you just tell us what you want. All right, what do I want to say? Anything else? There must be. When you pay, you can pay with PayPal or Stripe, and there's different options. There's even pay later options through PayPal. So if you use PayPal, there's like PayPal credit, there's pay in 4, where even though you're making the payment right now for whatever the price is, whether it's like this or this, there's some range, I forget what the range is, they'll split the payment into 4 even payments by the month. So I don't know if they'll do it for $5,000 or not. I forget where the cutoff is for pay in 4. But if they did, that means you would pay $1,250 a month for 4 months to pay it off. Okay? But that's okay. I mean, we're covered, and so we can hit your job right from the get-go. So again, I don't know if it'll work for 5K. It might be a cutoff at 2,500 or something. You'll find out if you want. Or you can pay through Stripe. Stripe's an option. So when you hit pay, it'll just drop down the options. Okay. Down here, subscription plans. I don't know how many of you were thinking strategy-wise that you want to grow as you go. And so you can do that. You can either pay by the month, like $250 a month for one website. Or if you want to pay $2,500 for the whole year, then we'll do 12 websites for you all at once. Because if you're paying annually, we can make all of your websites start working right now so they all grow neck and neck so that you make profits faster. It's kind of the same concept as buying a set of websites up here. It's just the paying, there isn't 12, there's 10, okay? Then there's 25, okay? Down here, it's just different. It's like 1 or 12, 3 or 36, 6 or 72, and there you go. And so, again, you can do PayPal or credit card. You can go by the month or by the year, and it's the same kind of boxes to fill in. Just email, product, and add your notes. Any questions we got, we'll let you know. Other than that, we'll start putting stuff up and show you what's going on. All right, guys. So just letting you know, there's a tremendous amount of power. Biggest difference is if you're coming in through Decrypt My Leads, the name of the game is you're splitting profits with us from the projects. You're paying for it so we can build it. And then we make 50% of the profits. You make 50% of the profits, usually from lead sales. Usually the purpose here is to sell leads to companies, okay, in that industry, in that location. Okay, that's the idea. And if it doesn't work out, we'll move you into a different location. If we have to, we'll move you into a different industry. We're doing a bunch of these things in parallel. GPT is growing at full speed. We're outcompeting the competitors in so many brand new fronts. And all the rules are based on the fact that people need GPT to rank. Most people don't know it. Most people aren't even using GPT for websites because it's hard. It's hard to program in and make it work right. And the first few guys who tried realized their pages would meander all over the place when they wrote them. So it'd be expensive and hard. But we detailed it out. So we're writing at an expert level. So anyway, you come in here to split the profits with us. Why? Because after we're done making your project for you, you want us to stay vested in your success beyond the job we did. So you want us to not just do the job well, but to keep at it all the time. Okay, so that's where we finally are after 6 months of insane development to get to this point. But now we can do it. So starting literally April, right now, April, first week of April, what do we have? All the projects that have ever been on hold up till now, all the projects I've been waiting for strategy upgrades up till now, all the projects that have been covered and not finished yet, all that stuff's going to be done this coming week. Literally everything will be done this coming week because finally we have all the tools done to allow us to realistically do it. We are launching stacks of websites all at once, upgrading stacks of websites all at once, helping people through their strategy questions all at once, going through everything all at once because we can now. We couldn't up till now. It's too much programming, but we're done with that. So, yep, the fact that we can monitor, that you can monitor, that the websites can monitor, makes it possible for us to basically guarantee profit. Because even though you can't guarantee profit, if you write better than everyone and you write authoritatively, which we know how to do, so that Google's really impressed with the contents of the website, all these doors lead in. And then you watch people from tracking and make sure that they're having a good experience. And the websites know the difference between bots and humans. Only track the humans so that we know the right answers. For example, if 100 people land on the page, 100 hits to the page, 5 hits to the video, then did the video only get a 5% conversion rate? Well, if they were all human, yeah, only 5% of the people watched the video. I guess the video's not doing very well, or it's too low on the page. Our website checks those things by itself, and it flips to the next video in your backup list if you have other videos in your backup list, and checks those. Literally, it finds the right answers. But it also starts with this. Say 80 of the hits to the page were bots, only 20 were human. Okay, we still need to get more humans to the page, even if it means a lot more bots. Oh, well, if we got 5,000 hits to the page and 4,000 are bots and 1,000 are humans, that's okay. There's no reason to mind that. That's fine. As long as our website tracks the humans only, the 1,000 that are human. And that way, now we know how many people watch the video. So if it's 20 humans, 5 people watch the video, that's a 25% conversion rate. That's great. You don't want to change your video if you've got a 1 in 4 watch rate. You would only want to change it if you really had a 1 in 100 or 5 in 100 watch rate, right? But our websites pay attention to those details. I don't know anyone who has any websites that do that. I've watched $1 million clients talking to their coaches about what they can do to improve their sales. And the coaches say, split test. Try putting all the testimonials in one spot on the page, kind of high, kind of medium, kind of low. On another page, split it up. You know, on another page, do this. On another page, do that. Kind of rearrange everything and see where you're getting clues. But only make one change per page or you're not going to track efficiently. And that's insane. We erased all of that expense. So you don't need to split test. Let our websites make the decisions for you. They are already programmed to know what they're doing, what they're watching. So they know when people are going halfway down and leaving, that something halfway down is turning people off. And the websites move that thing down out of the way and move other stuff up to watch how people act now. It literally knows what it's doing. If not enough people are scrolling down to see the video, the website moves the video up. If not enough people are clicking on the payment links, it moves the payment links up. If not enough people are signing up to the email or seeing the email block, it moves it around and it can change the words of the email sign-up form. It can change the words on the payment form so that you can try different pitches. So you just put all that stuff into boxes and let your website measure what's working best and stick with it. That's crazy. Nobody's systems have that, and we have that. We have that in remote control. We can just run these rules out through all these websites by remote control. We can add new rules and we can update new files that allow new rules and add them. Piece of cake. Okay? That's why you're getting into us. So if you're coming in through Decrypt My Leads, you're intentionally splitting profits because you want us vested so that we care to keep growing hard with you on this thing. And that's what's going on now. I've been waiting to do this for a long, long time, but the world kept changing. PHP, GPT, other things kept changing. Now we're past all that and we're doing this right. And then for this thing, and by meaning past it all and doing it right, we weren't doing it wrong before, but GPT changed the game and we had to catch up. So we had to retool for it. And then we wanted to also know the difference between humans and bots because like no one has that. And we definitely wanted to know that actual answer. And so we incorporated all that, not just finding it out, but creating rules for the websites to improve their time on page, improve their number of clicks per page, their engagements, and then track if they're in the area or not, and so on. So we can give incredible lead lists to companies. Anyway, if you want to come in and do your own thing, you would do it here. Okay, you would go to website-installer.com, and either you're going to buy a website, like maybe you buy this one, you like it, and you're going to get the details. And if you do, this is cool. You put in your information at the top as somebody ordering it. Leave all this stuff alone. If you have company information, put it in here so that when the website installs itself, it updates your company information instantly. So when your website installs, it's already saying your company name, your address, city, state, zip, the Google map for you, the phone number for you, email for you. It already does all that if you do it. And it already knows to pay attention to the areas surrounding you because you have to put the list in like this. And therefore it knows what the contents for your website should be all about, what area, okay? Zip. And then down here, are you using an existing domain that you already have? If so, put it here and follow these notes to update the name servers. If you need to buy a new domain, do your search right here and search. As soon as it says, yeah, it's good to go, it'll give you a button to add the domain to the order. And so you just add it to the order. I think it's like 13 bucks through here. And then subscribe with a credit or a debit card. And it's up to you. Do you want to use PayPal or Stripe? And you want to go by the month or by the year, okay? Make your decisions and buy, and guess what? It will install itself for you in about 3 minutes. Your whole new website will be live, and you'll be able to do whatever you want with it, okay? And just so you know, inside the websites, most people figure out real quick how to do everything. The thing most people struggle with is like, how do I add some code snippets, or hey, can I get some images? Customer support. Yeah, let me log back in real quick. I want to make this point. This exists for everybody. Customer support, okay? Add a ticket, okay? And then you can put in whatever the ticket name is, decide what it relates to, whatever you need help with, like image generation. And if you have some documents, like with your images, you can add them, or a video link, and you can flat out say, hey, I need help putting these images in here. I need help. How do I get this video in here right? I've got a code snippet. How do I add that? You can do anything you need, like that code snippet's in here somewhere. And if nothing else, other. It's just going to say, where can we find the problem or the thing you need, right? Put it here. So by doing that, you have the ability to engage right away to get your problems resolved inside your admin panel, right? You are submitting tickets. When we answer them, you'll be notified. And then that way you can just go and see everything was done. Okay, there's no reason for you to have to hang out in the rain. But these guys will not, nobody here is going to write your contents for you. No one here is going to choose something for you to sell, right? This is all support with your existing website, okay? So just keep in mind, are you investing or are you doing websites for your own business or what? And then for those of you that want to go wide, you want to compete. Why do you think we have professional services for multiple websites? It's because we can do them faster and better than you can. And we already know everything that needs to go into them first. Like right now, we can be so efficient. We can have websites done. We can do 10 to 20 in a day. So if the queue is one guy coming through every day, even up to 20 websites, we can literally keep up on a day-by-day basis without ever getting behind. Okay? So I mean, and if we need to, we'll get more people going to catch up. The biggest thing that's behind is just images, right? Everything else we can get done right away. We can do multiple projects a day except for the images, okay? So the images will follow, and that's okay. Google can see the website go live, the content go live, and the images come in later. No problem. But the fact of the matter is, this is the level of control we have right now, and it's absolutely incredible how far you can get with this. And by creating a bunch of websites, you are competing in your area. Think about it this way. Say you're a plumber in Elkhart, Indiana. How many plumbers are in Elkhart, Indiana that you compete with? Maybe 30, okay? And each of them probably has a website. Maybe 20 have a website. Maybe 10 of them have 2. So like 30 websites you're competing with. All right, so you're going to come in there with just one website, and you're going to compete with these 30 websites that are already staunchly entrenched and that Google's used to and knows people are there answering the phone. But that's not very competitive. You're competing with 30 with 1. But what if you come in with 25 or even 50 and your websites are better than theirs collectively? You've got better scores, better strength, better interesting content, newer information you did not set and forget, and your websites start paying attention to how people interact on the pages and Google notices all those changes happening on your websites. What's that mean? You compete. You compete extremely well. You can take over. You can have all those websites send the phone calls into the dispatch center, okay? And then you can dispatch out on behalf of all those franchisees, or it can just be referrals pointing people in. How do you want it set up? Put it in the notes. Literally make my websites like franchisee websites, or make them like affiliate websites or fan-based websites. You can literally do that, and we can run the projects out that way. GPT will write anything we ask it to, and we love making cool images of smiling, happy people in all kinds of situations and applying it to your business in a really good way. So, yeah, we know what we're doing. So when you come in like this, you keep all your profits, okay? This is where we set up the major project for you, then you do the monitoring, and then you decide what's working and not, and you let us know if there's any issues and we fix it. Other than that, you can always ask, we can always tell, we can always give you reports, we can always go through an update, the actual goals that each web page is supposed to achieve, right? So we'll look up how well we're doing and what we can do to improve it, and we'll do that anyway because we can now. We can monitor real human activity that we're tracking, so we're not making strange mistakes by including bot activity into all the measurables like most companies do. When they talk about split testing and trying different things, they're really lost about what people do on the pages. They have no idea. We taught our websites to tell us. They tell us how many engagements people took, on which pages, the most viewed video, the most viewed page, the most the used activity, the most scrolled down page. All the websites, all the pages tell us what we want to know so that we can improve anything right away. We can see obvious mistakes and fix them. The mistake is either the content's confusing, which never will happen anymore. There's a broken link. We'll fix it right away. People didn't scroll down far enough to see something. The website will see that and fix it. Okay, whatever we set as a goal, the web pages know what their purpose is and how to achieve them. All right, I think I made enough of the big overview point. Okay, if you got questions about your project, give me a call. If you're not really sure like how many websites you should use for a given project, first thing to think is how many competitors are in the area you want to go for. If you're in Los Angeles, how many plumbers could answer the call? If you're selling something that you think is pretty unique because it's its own brand name, are you pitching based on the brand name? Or are you looking for the keywords of people who are searching for what that thing is all about? Say you've got a weight loss pill. You might say, well, it's called, I don't know, Nugenix is a very common weight loss pill company, right? Well, it's Nugenix. Oh, then there are a lot of guys pitching it. Most of them probably are not web savvy, but you're up against all these guys pitching Nugenix in your area, maybe, if in your area applies. And you might think, well, my brand name nobody knows. And the answer is, well, if no one knows it, no one's searching for it. So you've got to show up for weight loss pills. Better than Nugenix, stuff like that, right? Or, different than Nugenix, cheaper than Nugenix, what do I know? Whatever claims you can make, right? But then that's how we write. And so you're competing with that level of keyword difficulty, whatever the topic is. By having said that, that's the reason we have these packages set up like this. We make websites that are awesome and self-monitor and self-evolve to improve your ROI, improve their rankability, improve their visibility, all that stuff. Improve your ROI. Okay? And the amount that you would need is really how many competitors do you have in the area. Have at least a website for every competitor in the area. If you have 30 competitors in the area, get 25 websites. If you have 45 competitors in the area, get 50 websites. If you have 200 competitors in the area, consider 200, but 100 will do, because we can take our websites and interlink through them. We can backlink through them. We can form them into constellations, and that forces all of them to rank in stacks together. And we've shown that. I've done videos where I showed taking over even the top 100 results for a keyword, because we had so many websites optimized for that were interlinked, right? Just by simply referencing each other. And I've shown how different industries do that, even secretly, even in the paragraph. So I have a link that points to what's supposed to be a competitor website in some other city, but it's not. It's really, if you look at in the footer, it's all the same company. And yeah, there's a lot to say, but we understand what we're doing. So there you go. We're up and at 'em and ready for you. Whenever you're ready, we're ready. All right, either give me a call or decide if you want to go for an investment, or decide if you want to go and get a website yourself, or decide if you want to build a stack of websites for something that we can do for you. Okay, up to you. All right.